Medtronic announced on May 25th that it is working to acquire a patch company from South Korea called Eoflow. They produce a patch pump, similar to what you see with Omnipod. There is so much to talk about today. I did a ton of research on this pump, and I'm gonna let you know everything there is to know about this pump so far and where that patch pump is going. If you're already wearing the Eoflow patch pump, let us know in the comments and what your experience is. I need to hear it. Medtronic could bring this to the masses, and that is very exciting to have more competition in the space. Welcome to Diabetech. I'm Justin. This is my channel. I talk all things diabetes tech, news, management, and beyond. I have type 1. New videos come out here on Fridays, and I've got a podcast on all major podcast platforms, and it comes out here every Monday. All right, let's get into this. I did a ton of research, and here's everything I found. First, inside the pump, there is a 200 unit reservoir. This is the same amount of units that fit in an Omnipod, but interestingly, you only need 80 units to fill it, whereas the Omnipod, you need a minimum of 100 units. Now, let's talk size. The Eoflow tubeless pump is actually a bit smaller than the Omnipod. The Eoflow is 39 millimeters by 49.5 millimeters by 14.5 millimeters thick. It weighs 26 grams with an empty reservoir. Now, for the Omnipod, it's the same dimensions, 39 millimeters across, but 52.07 millimeters in the other direction. The Omnipod's got the same thickness at 14.5 millimeters and weighs the same at 26 grams. That Eoflow patch is a bit smaller. The Eoflow is also waterproof. It's got an IPX8 rating, meaning it could be under 1 meter of water for up to 24 hours, which is great. Personally, I love swimming with my Omnipod. I never have to think about disconnecting anything. It's fantastic. The Eoflow also has this round device called a piezo, and this is how it creates sound. It's not a speaker, it's more so like a vibration that creates the sound. The same thing can be found in an Omnipod, which I learned about when I went to the Omnipod factory. You can learn more about that in my other content. Now, when it comes to usage, the Eoflow actually lasts longer than an Omnipod. Omnipod lasts 3 days with an 8-hour extension or grace period, and the Eoflow lasts 3.5 days. So that would be an extra 12 hours on top of the 3 days. I don't know if there's a grace period on top of that. If there isn't, then there really isn't much of a difference there. It's a difference of 4 hours, but still something important to know. I'll have to do some more research to see if there is a grace period on top of that. And if you know, let me know in the comments. The Eoflow also gets a tag-along PDM, similar to what Omnipod has. It looks like it is an Android phone that has its own settings, and that's what you're going to use to control it and set it up. Along with the PDM, it looks like there may be a tag-along smartphone app. In a lot of the promotional video, you do see the user using a phone, and this would bring it up to par with other systems like Tandem, who has their own smartphone app, and Omnipod, who's coming out with theirs as well. So maybe a functioning smartphone app that can bolus is coming for future Medtronic pumps. Applying this patch seems to be a bit different. It seems to be a bit more of a manual experience. So, as you can see, the patch pump has this outer shell. This outer shell needs to be twisted at a 100-degree angle, and that's what inserts the cannula. It is a soft cannula insertion, and it goes in vertical. Omnipod, on the other hand, goes at a bit of an angle. The Eoflow has already been available in Korea since 2021. It's been in Europe since September 2022, and it is planned to launch soon, or already has, in the UAE and Indonesia. Now, with the acquisition by Medtronic, I can only assume that this is going to become available to America, hopefully soon, and other places as well. Now, that's what we know about that pump, but they are also working or have been working on the Eopatch 3.0. A few things come with this, and much more than 3.0, 7-day wear. They have already created a prototype of this device back in November 2022. They announced this prototype. They said that it has a 300 unit reservoir, which is 50% larger than the original patch. It's got that 7-day wear, and it's about 22% larger and 20% heavier than the current Eopatch product. Eoflow said that this could come as soon as 2024. Now, a few things stand out here. First of all, Medtronic's 780G system now has a 7-day infusion set. They could be using the same technology there in this patch pump. So a 7-day wear makes total sense. It is a bit bigger, 20% larger. Would I want a larger pump that lasts 7 days on my body? I don't know the answer to that. I already love the size of my Omnipod, and knowing that the Eopatch that's currently out is about the same size, I don't know if the larger size is better to me with 7 days over the shorter amount of time. That's something that I'd have to figure out. Let me know in the comments if that's something that you'd be interested in. Now, Medtronic's plan for all of this is to incorporate their brand new 780G algorithm into these patched pumps. This algorithm just came out. I spoke with their chief engineer, Lou Lintor, all about this algorithm in a podcast episode, which you should totally listen to, especially if you're interested in getting this pump. Also, not just that algorithm, but Medtronic is working on future CGMs, Simplera and specifically Instinct, which would be used with this pump. It would create a closed loop system with their new CGM. That is a new CGM that updates from their Guardian 4, a totally new technology that I got into in a video called The Future of Medtronic. You gotta check that out. I get all into that new CGM. But the future is actually bright for Medtronic. I know a lot of people were like, Medtronic's been on their high horse. They let everyone get ahead of them. And you know what? In many ways, that could be true. But with the acquisition of a patched pump and their new algorithm and new CGMs coming out, that can make them a real contender and way more competitive in the space again. And you know what? Competition leads to more innovation. This Eopatch pump is going to make Omnipod move faster and quicker, and maybe they'll make a smaller pump, or maybe they'll make a larger pump that has a bigger reservoir. Who knows what's coming, but you know what? I will let you know as soon as I know more. You gotta listen to those interviews with Medtronic. I've also interviewed Omnipod about their future. All of those videos are on YouTube and on my podcast, which is the Diabetic Podcast. It can be found on all major podcast platforms. What do you think about this tubeless pump? What do you think about tubeless pumps in general? Are you an Omnipod user? Would you switch? Let me know in the comments. I'm super excited to hear what you think. Yeah, this is a very exciting time for diabetes technology. I am so excited to see what happens. I've got videos coming out on this channel every Friday, and my podcast comes out on YouTube and all major podcast platforms every Monday. So make sure to follow and subscribe to all of those. And if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to give it a like. I'm Justin, and I'll talk to you later.